Have you ever wondered when to drink water? Water isn't just a thirst quencher. The timing of when you sip it can significantly boost your health. Starting your day with a glass of water is like giving your body a wake-up call. This morning ritual activates your internal organs, kickstarting your metabolism after hours of rest. Then think about the simple act of drinking water before meals. It's not just a good habit. It helps with digestion by preparing your stomach for the food you're about to enjoy, which can prevent overeating too. Now let's talk about winding down. Drinking water before bed might sound like a risky move if you're worried about midnight bathroom trips, but it can actually be beneficial. It helps to keep your heart healthy and reduces the risk of heart attacks during the night. So, make it a point to drink water at these key times: morning, before meals, and before hitting the hay. It's amazing what a little timing can do for your overall health. Did you know that Neptune was discovered using math? Neptune is the only planet whose existence was predicted through mathematical calculations before it was seen through a telescope. In the 19th century, astronomers noticed that Uranus's orbit didn't match expectations, and they hypothesized that this was caused by the gravitational pull of an unknown planet. After calculations and extensive observation, Neptune was discovered, marking a triumph of science. This fact shows how powerful math is. It helped discover an entire planet long before it could be seen. Have you ever wondered what states are? In the USA, states are not just administrative units, like provinces in other countries. Each state has its own unique culture, nature, traditions, and laws. They are not merely geographical divisions. States have their own rights, including the ability to enact laws that apply only within their boundaries. There are a total of 50 states, each with its own identity and distinctive features. For example, California is famous for its technological advancements, while Texas is known for its passion for independence and unique culture. The last state to join the USA was Hawaii in 1959, when it officially became part of America. The oldest toy in the world is just a stick. Believe it or not, one of the oldest toys on Earth is simply a stick. For thousands of years, sticks have been used by people for all kinds of purposes, from simple play to the creation of complex tools. Children have used sticks in role-playing games, imagining them as swords, weapons, or magical wands. These simple yet versatile objects remain a staple in children's games even today. Their popularity is so great that in 2008, the United States even established a National Stick Day to celebrate the importance of the stick in toy history. Who would have thought that such a simple item could become part of our cultural heritage? Olympus Mons is the largest volcano in the solar system. Olympus Mons, located on Mars, is the largest volcano in the solar system. It stands at a height of 21 kilometers, with a base diameter of 600 kilometers. This colossal mountain is so huge that if you stacked 3 Mount Everests on top of each other, they still wouldn't reach its summit. Olympus Mons is a true mountain of fire and one of Mars's greatest mysteries. Imagine a cobra warning you with a scent before striking. When a cobra spreads its iconic hood, it's not just for show, it's part of a multi-layered defense system. The dramatic display makes the snake appear larger and more menacing. But some species go even further. They secrete pheromone-rich saliva to signal territory or attract mates. And if that doesn't work, spitting cobras can eject venom up to 1.8 meters away, aiming for the eyes to cause temporary blindness and severe pain. This venom isn't just toxic, it's a precision chemical weapon. The cobra's combination of bluff, chemical warning, and physical defense makes it one of nature's most sophisticated survivalists. No other snake combines these tactics with such chilling elegance. This is why many consider the USA a symbol of democracy. Despite its globally recognized influence on democratic processes, it's interesting to note that women gained the right to vote in the U.S. only in 1920, after many years of fighting for their rights. Native Americans, the indigenous people of the country, became official U.S. citizens only in 1924. This demonstrates how long the struggle for equality and justice has been in a country that today symbolizes freedom and democracy for the entire world. Have you ever wondered how moths sniff love from miles away? Male silkworm moths possess some of the most sensitive noses in the animal kingdom. Their feathery antennae are loaded with millions of scent receptors that can detect just a few molecules of a female's pheromone. From up to 16 kilometers away, these males lock onto the chemical trail and navigate with astonishing precision, even in total darkness. Once in range, they engage in a dance-like flight, guided by increasingly strong scent cues. This extreme sensitivity ensures that even in low-density populations, mating is still possible. Their antennae are so advanced, they've inspired sensor designs in modern robotics and technology. Nature made them into airborne pheromone-seeking missiles, all for the sake of love. Did you know there is a musical record left on the moon? In 1971, during the Apollo 15 mission, a music record was left on the moon with recordings of earthly artists. This record, featuring songs from the Beatles and others, became a symbol of peace and humanity. Today, it remains there as a message for future generations, or even aliens who might find it and hear the sounds of our planet. Is it possible that giraffes only sleep 30 minutes a day? These incredible animals can survive on minimal sleep. Giraffes sleep for only about 30 minutes a day, and they even do it standing up. They have a special mechanism that allows them to rest in short intervals of a few minutes to avoid predators. With such long legs, they can quickly spot approaching danger. Can you imagine that there's a village in Poland with upside-down houses? In the village of Szymbark, Poland, there's a unique house that stands upside down. It's not just an artistic installation, but a real tourist attraction that you can enter. The house was built as a symbol of the upheavals and changes that Poland experienced in the 20th century. Inside, everything is also upside down: the furniture, the stairs, and even the windows. Visitors who enter often feel slightly disoriented because the inverted space creates a dizzying effect. This place has become a tourist sensation and a must-see for anyone visiting the area. Earth and the Moon, a dance of gravity. Fun fact, Earth is 81 times heavier than the Moon. Despite this difference in mass, both celestial bodies significantly influence each other through gravitational forces. Earth's gravity causes tides on the Moon, while the Moon's pull slows down Earth's rotation. This interaction plays a crucial role in the dynamics of our planet and its satellite. Next time you look up at the Moon, remember the cosmic dance happening between Earth and its faithful companion. How would you react if I told you there's a building that's built inside out? In Dubai, one of the most unique skyscrapers in the world is Cayenne Tower. This 73-story skyscraper is twisted 90 degrees along its vertical axis. This gives it a distinctive architectural and engineering design. It creates the impression that the building is twisted like a giant spiral. It symbolizes an innovative approach to construction and has become one of the city's main attractions. Who would have thought that the wombat is a true architect of nature? Imagine this. The small, furry wombat living in Australian forests is not just cute, but unique in a very peculiar way. It's the only animal on the planet that leaves cube-shaped droppings. Yes, you heard that right. Perfect little cubes. These unusual blocks don't just roll down hills. Wombats strategically place them to mark their territory. The cubic shape helps prevent them from rolling, which is especially useful in hilly areas. Scientists have long wondered how wombats manage to produce such regular shapes. The secret lies in the unique structure of their intestines, which compress the waste into perfect cubes. Nature never ceases to amaze, and wombats with their cube droppings are a shining example of how fascinating her creations can be. Can you imagine that in Colorado, there's a town where it's illegal to die? In the town of Nederland, Colorado, there's a strange and even absurd law. You can't die in the town. This law stems from a local history involving attempts to preserve a man's body in a frozen state. Now, the town has declared itself a territory for immortals, and locals jokingly claim that they're simply not allowed to die. Of course, the law isn't enforceable, but many people visit Nederland to laugh at this odd tradition and learn about the story of the frozen eternal resident. Believe it or not, eagles can see for miles. Eagles possess some of the most powerful vision in the animal kingdom. Their eyes are so dense with photoreceptors, millions more than in human retinas, that they can spot a rabbit from 3 kilometers away. They also have 2 foveae per eye, giving them laser-sharp binocular vision and side vision at the same time. Eagles perceive a broader spectrum, including ultraviolet light, helping them track the urine trails of rodents invisible to us. When hunting, an eagle soars high, locks onto a target, and dives at over 150 kilometers range with precision so great it can strike within millimeters. Their vision is not only acute but dynamically adaptive, allowing them to instantly adjust focus between vast landscapes and close-up targets. These birds don't just fly, they aim with sniper precision in the sky. Can you imagine a snowflake the size of a plate? In 1887, the largest snowflake ever recorded fell in Montana. It was 15 inches wide and 8 inches thick. That's the size of a dinner plate. Imagine being under such a snowstorm. This amazing event went down in meteorological history as the most unusual snow phenomenon. So next time you complain about the snow, think, it could have been much bigger and more impressive. Imagine for a moment. The Sahara Desert is the largest desert on Earth. The Sahara Desert is not just a desert, it's a giant oven. Covering over 9 million square kilometers, it is the largest hot desert in the world. It spans much of North Africa, covering an area roughly the size of China or the United States. Temperatures in the Sahara can soar up to 58 degrees Celsius, about 136 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the hottest places on Earth. Sperm whales, the loudest creatures on Earth. Sperm whales are underwater sound machines. They produce clicks and vocalizations that can reach up to 230 decibels. That's several times louder than a jet engine. These sounds help sperm whales communicate over vast distances and navigate the ocean depths. They use them like sonar to hunt giant squid at depths of over 1,000 meters. These clicks are so powerful that they can even stun their prey from a distance. Imagine if humans had similar abilities. We could communicate across entire oceans. Did you know Morocco was America's first ally? In a fascinating twist of history, Morocco stood out as the first nation to recognize the United States, doing so way back in 1777, just a year after the Declaration of Independence was signed. This act wasn't just a friendly gesture. It was a powerful statement that underscored Morocco's support for the fledgling nation during its formative years. A few years later, the two countries took it a step further by negotiating a treaty of friendship, which has remarkably withstood the test of time and continues to be in effect today. This treaty established one of the longest-standing international relationships in U.S. history and highlighted Morocco's role as a crucial ally. It allowed American ships to safely enter Moroccan ports, paving the way for trade and diplomacy that would flourish in the years to come. So next time you think about America's allies, remember that it was Morocco, a vibrant North African nation known for its rich culture and history, that got the ball rolling. Why exactly does the Statue of Liberty belong to New Jersey? This iconic symbol of freedom and democracy, known worldwide, actually sits in New Jersey's waters. While it's often associated with New York City, the legal and geographical details tell a different story. The statue rests on Liberty Island, which is surrounded by the waters of New Jersey. This curious situation arises from an 1834 agreement between New York and New Jersey. The state of New Jersey originally claimed the land due to a 1664 charter, and subsequent laws confirmed that the waters surrounding the island were also part of New Jersey. As a result, many people often wonder if visiting the statue means they're stepping into New York or New Jersey. Besides its geographical quirks, the Statue of Liberty is a powerful symbol of hope for countless immigrants as they approach the American shores. So next time you admire Lady Liberty, remember that her official home is in the Garden State. The shortest war lasted only 38 minutes. In 1896, a war broke out between Britain and the Sultanate of Zanzibar, which became the shortest in history. The conflict began when the Sultan of Zanzibar refused to comply with British demands. Britain sent warships into the harbor, and within 38 minutes of intense bombardment, the Sultan surrendered. During that time, the British ships destroyed the Sultan's palace and his fleet before installing a new ruler who supported British interests. This record for the fastest war conclusion has never been broken. Amazingly, Norway has a special underwater restaurant. Norway has opened Europe's first underwater restaurant called Under. It is submerged 5 meters underwater, and through large panoramic windows, diners can observe the underwater world without leaving their table. The restaurant offers not only gourmet cuisine, but also the chance to watch fish and sea creatures swimming just meters away from you. This unique restaurant has become a major attraction for food lovers and nature enthusiasts alike. Camels, the giants of the desert. Despite popular belief, camels didn't always live in deserts. They originally descended from ancient animals that roamed the forests of North America around 30 million years ago. Over time, they migrated to Africa and Asia, where their humps became an adaptation for surviving in hot climates. These humps, filled with fat, allow camels to go without water for up to 2 weeks. They can drink up to 50 liters of water at once, making them masters of survival in environments where other creatures would perish. Camels remain a vital part of life for many desert communities. Why are soap bubbles always round? The answer to this question is simple, but quite fascinating. Soap bubbles take on a round shape because it is the most stable and energy-efficient form for holding air inside. When you blow a bubble, the soap film naturally tries to distribute the surface tension evenly. A spherical shape is ideal because it minimizes the surface area, which helps the bubble maintain its structure. Although bubbles can take on other shapes if blown through specific devices or confined spaces, in free flight, they always return to their natural spherical form. It's an example of how the laws of physics manifest in even the simplest things, like soap bubbles. Why can the leaves of giant water lilies support a person's weight? The leaves of giant water lilies, like the Amazonian Victoria, can grow over 3 meters in diameter and hold up to 70 kilograms. Their structure resembles a strong network that distributes weight evenly, preventing the leaf from sinking. These plants are true wonders of nature and have become popular in botanical gardens worldwide thanks to their beauty and remarkable strength. Hard to believe, but the sun makes noise, and we can hear it. Although space is silent in the usual sense, scientists have found a way to hear the sun using special instruments. The sound of the sun is produced by vibrations on its surface and inner layers, caused by thermal processes. Scientists have converted these vibrations into sounds that we can hear. If you could listen to the sun, it would sound like a low, humming noise. These solar vibrations help astrophysicists study the sun's internal structure, predict solar flares, and understand the processes happening in its core. Did you know that many championships in the US are called World Championships, even though no other countries participate? For example, the World Championship of American Football is strictly an American event, featuring only US teams. This approach often raises eyebrows outside the country, but within the US, it's seen as a tribute to the grandeur and uniqueness of local traditions. For Americans, the world is largely confined to their own country, and everything beyond its borders often seems less significant. Blind sight. How can someone see without realizing it? Imagine being blind but still being able to see movements and objects. This phenomenon is known as blind sight. It occurs in people with damage to the visual cortex. Even though they don't see in the conventional sense, they can intuitively detect the location of objects and even guess where they are moving. How is this possible? Other parts of the brain are still able to process visual information. This fascinating phenomenon makes us wonder about how much our brain does in the background without us even being aware of it. Did you know that secret staircases were built into Italian houses? In Italian cities like Venice and Florence, aristocrats often built houses with secret staircases that allowed them to hide in case of danger. These staircases were hidden within the walls and led to secret rooms or exits. Some of them still exist today and are true architectural treasures. Even now, these hidden passages continue to fascinate explorers and tourists, intrigued by the mysteries of the past. Did you know one lightning strike could toast 100,000 slices of bread? A single lightning strike can generate enough energy to toast about 100,000 slices of bread. This figure highlights the colossal power of lightning and its ability to generate incredible amounts of energy in just fractions of a second. Next time you see lightning, imagine how powerful nature is. Not only booming thunderously, but also capable of powering an entire electric grid. Nature continues to astonish with its immense potential. Why does freshly cut grass smell so good? The fresh scent of newly mowed grass is actually a distress signal. When grass is cut, it releases chemicals to warn nearby plants of danger. These compounds, known as greenleaf volatiles, are a plant's way of signaling that it has been injured. This remarkable mechanism highlights the sophisticated communication that exists even in the plant world. So the next time you enjoy the smell of cut grass, remember, it's nature's way of calling for help. Could it really be that beavers build dams to success? Beavers are more than rodents. They're hydrological engineers. Using nothing but teeth, paws, mud, and instinct, they construct dams that alter entire ecosystems. These structures slow rivers, creating stillwater ponds where beavers build their lodges with underwater entrances, safe from predators. Their work forms wetlands that host frogs, fish, birds, and plants, boosting biodiversity and water purity. By trapping sediment and moderating flow, beaver dams reduce erosion and prevent downstream floods. Even during droughts, the ponds they create act as water reservoirs. Scientists now replicate beaver dam models in ecological restoration to stabilize water systems and reverse desertification. In this way, beavers are not only survivors, they're natural architects who leave behind flourishing communities of life, all built from sticks and mud. Why are plastic flamingos outnumbering real ones? You might be surprised to learn that in the United States, there are estimated to be more plastic flamingos than actual flamingos. This quirky fact dates back to the 1950s when Don Featherstone created the iconic pink lawn ornament. These cheerful, lifelike plastic replicas quickly became a popular decoration for front yards, symbolizing a fun, carefree attitude in American suburban life. While the actual flamingo population is concentrated mainly in Florida and parts of the Caribbean, the colorful plastic counterparts have spread like wildfire across the nation, spawning yard parties, art installations, and even the occasional prank or two. Today, they can be spotted on lawns and gardens and even on porches, often in entertaining poses. While we might not see many real flamingos waddling about, these fun plastic birds bring a pop of color and a smile to everyday life, reminding us of sunny beaches and warm weather no matter where we are. Welcome to a town with a population of one. Imagine an entire town with only one resident. Monowai, a small town in Nebraska, USA, has a population of just one person, Elsie Eiler. She wears many hats: mayor, librarian, and bar owner. This tiny town with a population of one is a unique place in the U.S. Elsie runs everything on her own, collects taxes from herself, and serves the few tourists who pass by. Monowai is a living example of a one-woman show, drawing attention because of its uniqueness and Elsie's story. Is it possible? The world's longest staircase is on a mountain. Located on Mount Nianbo Yartze in China, there is a staircase stretching approximately 9 kilometers with over 7,000 steps. The climb takes several hours and requires physical endurance, but the view from the top is worth all the effort. Every year, thousands of tourists take this path to see the incredible landscapes visible only from high above. Hard to believe, but the largest iceberg was the size of Jamaica. The largest iceberg ever recorded broke off from the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica in 1986. It was about 280 kilometers long and 80 kilometers wide, making its area comparable to the size of Jamaica. This gigantic iceberg was so massive, it could easily have housed entire cities. It drifted in the ocean for several years, slowly melting. You won't believe how The Matrix changed fashion. In the late 1990s, the release of The Matrix was more than just a groundbreaking film. It sparked a complete fashion revolution. The movie's distinctive cyberpunk aesthetic, which featured sleek black leather coats, combat boots, and oversized sunglasses, quickly captured the imagination of audiences around the world. Suddenly, everyday fashion shifted as people began gravitating toward that edgy high-tech look. The iconic characters, especially Neo and Trinity, became style icons. inspiring a legion of fans to imitate their bold outfits. This wave of influence reached beyond the screen into everyday life, affecting not only streetwear, but also high-fashion runways. Designers started to incorporate these futuristic elements, blending them with traditional styles. It was like a digital renaissance, merging tech and fashion in a way that felt revolutionary. This connection even echoed in various subcultures from goths to skaters who embraced the Matrix vibe, making its style a defining mark of the decade. So the next time you see someone in a black leather coat and sunglasses, you might just be witnessing the lasting impact of a film that changed the fashion game forever. Did you know that the kiwi is a nocturnal sleuth with its nose at the tip of its bill? Unlike any other bird on Earth, the kiwi's nostrils are located at the very tip of its long, probing beak, an extraordinary adaptation that allows it to literally smell its prey before touching it. Living in the forest floor's leaf litter, the kiwi uses this keen sense of smell, along with sensitive whisker-like feathers, vibrissae, to detect insects and worms buried 10 centimeters below ground. With poor eyesight, it relies on these tools to navigate and forage by night. The kiwi also lays one of the largest eggs in proportion to body size, up to 20% of its body weight, requiring intense investment from the female and careful care from both parents. Endemic to New Zealand and sacred in Maori culture, the kiwi is a conservation icon, a bird that defies flight, daylight, and bird-like norms, all while thriving in its underground world. Believe it or not, hyenas laugh not out of joy. The iconic cackling of the spotted hyena may sound like comedy, but it's actually one of the most complex vocal communication systems in the mammalian world. Each laugh, giggle, or whoop encodes vital social information, age, sex, emotional state, and even rank within the clan hierarchy. These vocalizations signal submission during feeding disputes, summon allies during a hunt, and issue warnings about territorial intrusions. Scientists have cataloged over 30 distinct call types, each used in specific contexts. What's more, the intensity and frequency of a hyena's laugh can reveal how hungry or stressed it is. In cooperative hunts, vocal cues help coordinate ambushes and flanking maneuvers. Far from being aimless noise, hyena laughter is structured, meaningful, and essential to the social fabric of their cunning, female-dominated societies. Can you believe that the world's oldest cheese was found in a tomb over 3,000 years old? In 2014, archaeologists in China made an incredible discovery: the world's oldest cheese, buried in the tomb of a nobleman from the Bronze Age. Dating back to the 16th century BCE, this ancient cheese was made from a mixture of cow, goat, and sheep's milk. Thanks to the unique burial conditions, the cheese was well preserved, with a crumbly texture and a salty flavor. Interestingly, the bacteria used to make this cheese had consumed the lactose during fermentation, making it lactose-free. Family ties that last. How long do kids stay home? How long do kids stay home? In Italy, it's surprisingly common for young adults to live with their parents until they are around 28 or 30. This trend reflects not only the strong family bonds typical of Italian culture, but also a belief in the home as a supportive environment. Many families view living together as a way to stay connected and lend emotional support. Rather than rushing into independence, young Italians often focus on education or starting their careers while sharing the same roof with their parents. This setup allows for a cozy atmosphere where family dinners are cherished, traditions are upheld, and financial burdens can be shared. Additionally, housing costs in urban areas can be quite high, making it practical to stay at home for a bit longer. Unlike other countries where moving out is seen as a rite of passage, in Italy it's not unusual for these extended stays to be celebrated. So next time you meet an Italian in their late 20s, still living with mom and dad, remember it's all part of a rich family tradition. The most expensive painting ever sold went for hundreds of millions. In 2017, Leonardo da Vinci's painting, Salvator Mundi, Savior of the World, was sold at auction for an astonishing $450 million. This masterpiece was long considered lost until it was rediscovered in the 20th century. Even after its discovery, debates over its authenticity continued. Many wondered if it was truly painted by Leonardo himself. Nevertheless, its sale made history, turning Salvator Mundi into the most sought-after art piece in the world. Can you believe North Korea runs on cash? In this isolated nation, credit cards and online transactions are complete no-shows, making cash the king of the economy. Most North Koreans rely on physical money for their day-to-day purchases, creating a unique financial landscape. The national currency, known as the North Korean won, unfortunately has no traction on the global market, which leads many people to favor more stable currencies like the US dollar or Chinese yuan. Imagine navigating your life without the convenience of electronic payments. That's a typical day for many in North Korea. The absence of a digital banking system reflects not only the country's restrictions, but also its approach to external influences, keeping their economic practices tightly under wraps. For those who are a part of the daily grind in North Korea, this cash-only system is simply how things work. While this might sound daunting to us, it's just the norm over there. Like shopping in a foreign land where bank transactions come straight out of your pocket. It may seem incredible, but the puffer fish transforms into a living landmine. Small, slow, and seemingly harmless, the puffer fish is actually a master of sudden transformation. When threatened, it gulps water, or air, and inflates to several times its normal size, turning into a round, spiky orb that's difficult to bite or swallow. Its skin is embedded with spines, and many species contain tetrodotoxin, one of the most lethal natural poisons, with no known antidote. A tiny amount can kill predators or humans, and the toxin is concentrated in the liver, ovaries, and skin. Despite its toxicity, pufferfish are a delicacy in Japan, fugu, requiring highly trained chefs. Scientists are now exploring the fish's inflation mechanism, flexible internal chambers, muscular valves, and rapid water intake, as models for expandable biomaterials. This unassuming creature proves that sometimes the best defense is sudden, overwhelming surprise. Did you know that armadillos can transmit leprosy to humans? Armadillos are one of the few animals that can transmit the disease known as leprosy to humans. Though rare today, this infection can be passed from animal to human through contact with armadillos. Leprosy is caused by bacteria and is usually transmitted after prolonged contact with an infected animal. Scientific studies have shown that armadillos can carry the same strains of bacteria as humans, making them unique in the animal kingdom. Although this disease can be treated with antibiotics, it's worth exercising caution when interacting with these cute but potentially dangerous creatures. Who would have thought that such a peculiar little animal could be a carrier of an ancient disease? Hard to believe, but there's an underwater waterfall in the world. On the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, there is a phenomenon that baffles even experienced travelers and scientists. Off the island's southwestern coast, you can witness an optical illusion of an underwater waterfall. It's not a real waterfall, but a natural phenomenon where sand and sediment, moved by currents, create the illusion of a waterfall plunging into the ocean depths. Due to the ocean floor's contours, it looks like water is cascading down into a giant abyss, though in reality, it's just an illusion. Yet this view is so mesmerizing that many tourists come to Mauritius just to see this extraordinary sight. Believe it or not, America is behind every economic miracle in other countries. After World War II, the U.S. began investing in the recovery and development of other nations, leading to economic wonders in Japan, Germany, South Korea, and China. In Japan, the U.S. transferred technology. In Germany, they provided financial aid and protection. South Korea was integrated into the global economy, and China received significant investment. Today, the U.S. remains the primary buyer of goods from these countries, despite China's rise as a leading economic partner. This approach not only created strong economic allies for the U.S., but also secured a strategic advantage in the world. Believe it or not, the immortal jellyfish cheats death. The tiny jellyfish Turritopsis dohrnii has baffled scientists with its near-magical ability to reverse its own aging. After reaching adulthood, it can revert its cells to a juvenile state and start life anew, effectively cycling between maturity and youth indefinitely, unless it's eaten or otherwise fatally injured. This process, known as transdifferentiation, allows specialized cells to become stem-like and then respecialize, rebuilding the body from the inside out. It's not just a parlor trick of the sea, it's a biological mystery with implications for regenerative medicine and the science of longevity. The jellyfish's cycle of immortality reveals the astounding potential of cellular flexibility and reminds us that nature has already cracked secrets that science is only beginning to understand. Ever heard of Ayubawan's warm charm? In Sri Lanka, when people greet each other with Ayubawan, they're not just saying hello, they're wishing each other a long and prosperous life. This heartfelt gesture involves placing hands together in front of the chest, accompanied by a slight bow. It's a simple yet deeply meaningful way to express respect and goodwill, and it perfectly reflects the warmth and hospitality that Sri Lankans are known for. Imagine walking through a bustling market or a tranquil village and encountering friendly faces greeting you with this inviting phrase. It's a cultural tradition steeped in kindness, where every Ayubawan fosters a sense of community and connection. In a world that sometimes feels a little too rushed, this gentle greeting reminds us to pause and appreciate the people around us. So the next time you meet someone from Sri Lanka, or even a fellow traveler, try saying Ayubawan. It just might brighten their day and strengthen that bond between you. This might sound crazy, but the mantis shrimp punches harder than a bullet. The mantis shrimp may look like a colorful reef dweller, but it packs one of the most powerful punches in the animal kingdom. Its club-like limb accelerates at 23 meters per second, faster than a .22 caliber bullet, and delivers over 10,000 G of force. When it strikes, it not only smashes shells, but also creates cavitation bubbles that collapse with a second explosive hit, producing shock waves, heat, and even light. The limb's structure includes a saddle-shaped energy-storing mechanism, which scientists now study to develop resilient materials for body armor and aerospace. Aquarium glass has cracked under its blows. It's not just brute strength, it's precision engineering perfected over millions of years. With explosive power and mind-blowing speed, the mantis shrimp is one of nature's deadliest biomechanical weapons. This one fact flips the whole story about chameleon color change. Most people think chameleons change color just for camouflage, but that's only part of the story. These lizards use color to communicate mood, temperature, and social signals. When cold, they darken to absorb heat. When hot, they pale to reflect sunlight. A male flashes bright colors to impress a mate or challenge a rival. This isn't pigment shuffling, it's nanotechnology. Tiny crystals in their skin reflect specific wavelengths of light depending on their spacing. Nerve signals alter these distances in milliseconds, giving chameleons full control of their personal color display. It's camouflage, yes, but also language, emotion, and thermoregulation rolled into one. Every color shift tells a story, making these creatures living, flashing billboards of reptilian expression. How much do you think the world's largest burger weighs? In 2017, a Michigan restaurant cooked up the world's biggest burger, weighing in at a whopping 1,164 kilograms. That's over 2,500 pounds of beef. The burger was stacked with 300 pounds of cheese, 150 pounds of lettuce, 150 pounds of onions, and 100 pounds of bacon. It took 10 hours to cook and was served to 350 guests. That's one burger you'll never forget. Imagine for a moment that Brits drink 1 billion cups of tea each year. UK tea is not just a beverage, it's a part of the culture. Approximately 1 billion cups of tea are consumed annually here, far exceeding Russia's 204 million. Notably, 98% of tea in the UK is drunk with milk, which is a hallmark of British tradition. The UK ranks among the top 3 countries in tea consumption, and adding sugar to tea is associated with the working class. Less sugar indicates a higher social status. Let's break a common myth today. Crocodile tears aren't about emotion. The popular phrase, crocodile tears, implies fake sadness, but it originates from a real biological process. When crocodiles feed, powerful jaw muscles press on glands that trigger tear secretion, not from sorrow, but as a way to clean their eyes. These reptiles often dine on sandy shores, and the tears help flush out irritants and maintain clear vision. The phenomenon was first recorded in the 14th century and misunderstood as emotional weeping, which later gave rise to the metaphor. In truth, crocodiles are cold-blooded predators, driven by instinct rather than empathy. However, their tear mechanism serves a crucial function. Without it, they'd risk infections or impaired hunting ability. Interestingly, researchers are studying similar lacrimal responses in other species to better understand how tears evolved not just for emotion, but as tools of hygiene and protection. Have you ever wondered what the average salary in the UK is? The average salary for Britons is about $30,000 per year, which is roughly $3,200 per month or 300,000 rubles. The British pound is one of the oldest currencies still in use today and is also one of the most expensive currencies, making it attractive to investors. However, the pound is also one of the most counterfeited currencies. Who would have thought that clouds can weigh millions of tons? Despite their light and airy appearance, clouds actually have massive weight. 1 cubic meter of cloud contains about half a gram of water. Considering that a typical cumulus cloud can have a volume of over 1 billion cubic meters, its mass can reach 500,000 tons. That's about the same as 400,000 cars. Imagine tons of water floating above you. Did you know that William Shakespeare remains one of the most influential figures in literature? As an English playwright and poet, he is rightly regarded as one of the most significant authors in world literature. Despite the fact that no portrait of him was created during his lifetime, his works, such as Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, and Macbeth, continue to resonate and inspire people worldwide. Shakespeare not only expanded the boundaries of language by creating over 1,700 new words, but he also shaped the foundations of how human nature is understood in literature. His works have continued to influence literature and theater for centuries. Peanuts aren't nuts, they're legumes. You might be surprised to learn that, botanically speaking, peanuts aren't actually nuts. Peanuts belong to the legume family, like peas, beans, and lentils. Unlike true nuts, such as walnuts and almonds, peanuts grow underground and don't have a hard shell enclosing a single seed. A nut, in botanical terms, is a dry fruit with a hard shell, but peanuts don't fit that definition. Even though we often think of them as nuts, they're technically closer to peas and beans, but with a unique taste all their own. Can you pronounce a word with 189,000 letters? The longest word in the English language is the chemical name of the protein titin, and it consists of a staggering 189,000 letters. Pronouncing it could take several hours. Of course, such a word isn't used in everyday life, but it exists as a linguistic marvel of science. This fact shows just how complex and amazing language can be when it comes to science and chemistry. Is it true that counterfeiting has existed since the inception of coins? Counterfeiting emerged simultaneously with the first coins. Ancient fraudsters began to chip away at the edges of coins to create new ones, thereby diminishing their value. To counteract this, coins started to feature special edges, reading, making counterfeiting more difficult. Despite these measures, counterfeiting remains a relevant issue in various countries today. Could the Pringles can owe its shape to NASA? It might sound like snack aisle science fiction, but the iconic Pringles can was inspired by aerospace engineering. Inventor Frederick Bauer wasn't just creating a clever tube, he was applying principles from the world of spaceflight. The cylindrical, foil-lined cardboard design was patented as a container for the safe transport of fragile articles, a concept rooted in technology used to shield sensitive equipment during rocket launches. Its airtight seal and even pressure distribution protected the delicate, uniform chips from crushing, just like similar designs protected circuit boards and lenses in zero gravity. In essence, the Pringles can is a low-orbit idea brought down to Earth, a practical intersection of high-tech materials and everyday convenience. From space probes to sour cream and onion, it's proof that packaging can be a story of innovation. Is it true Titanic's sister ship nearly sank first? Most people know the story of Titanic, but few realize that its older sister, RMS Olympic, almost met disaster before Titanic ever sailed. In 1911, Olympic collided with the British warship HMS Hawke near Southampton, tearing open 2 compartments. Though it didn't sink, the incident revealed vulnerabilities in the ship's hull design. Despite this close call, the White Star Line made only minor tweaks when building Titanic. Less than a year later, Titanic famously hit an iceberg and sank. Historians now speculate that if Olympic had received a full structural overhaul, the lessons learned might have saved Titanic. Instead, corners were cut and tragedy struck. It's a haunting case of history's warning signs being ignored, and a chilling reminder of how close calls don't always change course in time. Who would have thought Antarctica had speed limits? In 1991, the world's coldest, most remote continent saw an unlikely headline. First speeding ticket issued in Antarctica. A British tourist racing across the ice on a snowmobile at 40 km/h was stopped and fined under the Antarctic Treaty. Though it sounds absurd, the incident highlighted serious concerns. High speeds can crack the ice, disturb wildlife, and pose fatal risks in a land with no hospitals or roads. The treaty exists to protect Antarctica's delicate environment and ensure peaceful scientific cooperation. Even in a land with no permanent residents, laws still matter. This speeding fine, though humorous, served as a warning that human presence must tread carefully, even where penguins outnumber people. Yes, even on the last continent, you can get busted for reckless driving. Elephants can mourn and grieve their lost ones. When a member of their herd dies, elephants display deep empathy and support. The others gather around the body, gently touching it with their trunks, as if saying goodbye. Some even cover the body with branches or leaves and later return to the spot, as if visiting a grave. This behavior shows just how connected elephants are and how deeply they can experience emotions. It's a reminder that understanding loss and respecting the departed is not just a human trait. Is it really possible that Halong Bay is one of the most mystical places on the planet? Halong Bay in Vietnam is a true natural wonder. Thousands of islets immersed in green waters create the impression of a mystical world where reality blends with myth. The limestone formations rising from the ocean make this bay incredibly beautiful and mysterious. This place attracts tourists with its mystical charm and is perfect for those seeking solitude amidst natural beauty. Believe it or not, Angel Falls is the highest waterfall on Earth. Located in Venezuela, it has a height of 979 meters, making it the tallest drop of water in the world. Unlike other waterfalls, the water evaporates into the air before reaching the ground, creating a misty cloud effect. This natural phenomenon makes the falls unique, and their incredible height and beauty attract travelers from all over the globe. Superfetation. Is it possible to get pregnant while already pregnant? Could this really be true? It turns out, yes. Superfetation is a rare medical phenomenon in which a woman can get pregnant while already being pregnant. This occurs when ovulation continues even after conception, which typically doesn't happen as the body halts the ovulation cycle after pregnancy begins. As a result of this rare condition, a woman can carry two embryos of different ages simultaneously. Though extremely rare in humans, this phenomenon occurs more frequently in the animal kingdom, especially in certain species of fish and mammals. It's amazing but true. The human body is full of surprises, and sometimes nature can break its own rules. Imagine for a moment that Machu Picchu is not just ruins, but a symbol of Inca greatness. Nestled high in the Peruvian mountains, Machu Picchu is one of the most famous historical sites in the world. Built by the Incas in the 15th century, this remarkable city was abandoned and forgotten for centuries until its rediscovery in 1911. Machu Picchu has since become a symbol of the great Inca civilization and one of the most important archaeological sites in South America. Did you know that a dollar can be changed in 293 ways? When it comes to breaking a dollar, the combinations can be quite diverse. By using various coins like pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, you can make a dollar in 293 different ways. This fact showcases just how intricate and varied the coin system can be and gives a whole new perspective on the humble dollar. Did you know that the resolution of the human eye surpasses any camera? Our eyes can distinguish up to 10 million shades of color with such incredible clarity that no modern camera can compare. Imagine this. The human eye has a resolution of 576 megapixels. This is far beyond even the best photographic technologies available today. We all love high-resolution screens, but we often forget that our own eyes already provide us with the perfect visual experience. And the best part, it's completely free.